Hello, and today I'm going to be talking about my new role, a little bit about me and the coaching cycle. So, those of you that do not know me, I'm so excited to work with you this school year, and I'm going to be just talking about how my position can support you in the classroom this school year. And so, I have an agenda. So, we're going to go over the 5-step coaching cycle so that way you kind of understand how I can support you and your students this school year. And then we're going to talk about like what to expect this school year. And then we're going to do a gripe jam and then a survey. So that's kind of our overview for today. And again, if you haven't met me, my name is Stephanie Howe. I am the new instructional tech coach. And I'm going to go over to this slide deck, and all the links for these are in the YouTube description. If you are interested in seeing more, or if you want to click any of these links to explore, feel free to do so. So I've been working in Pickerington schools since 2014. I started out my career in special education at Diley Middle School, and I taught spec ed full inclusion. Most of my students were LD, autistic, and just some other disabilities like ADHD and kind of like that. So I have a passion for students with disabilities, and that's kind of what hooked me into education. After special education, I also fell in love with technology. My first year, I had these Chromebooks because they gave the special education teachers certain Chromebooks for their students to use. And on Fridays was the only day I let my students use these Chromebooks. They would beg and beg to use them all week. And I was like, no, this is just a Friday activity. I wanted to save that like glam of the Chromebooks for school on Friday only. And I soon realized how much technology could empower my students. These students struggled with writing. A lot of them had dyslexia, ADHD, maybe a learning disability. And because of that, having a device allowed them to have more confidence. They were able to get feedback in real time by me because I was able to log into their Google document, give them feedback on their writing, and then send it back to them for corrections. So it was kind of a really cool student-led journey that I began that first year. And after that, it just kept growing and growing. And then this position opened up for instructional technology coordinator, and I applied and I got it. And I've been doing this job since 2000, and I think it was like 17. Um, and it was a blast. I loved going in and helping teachers implement technology, training teachers, and I've grown so much from that experience that then they've opened up a instructional technology coach position. And I love the coordinator side of things, but sometimes I felt like split. It was like you're doing admin stuff, you're attending all these district meetings, you're helping lead these different initiatives. Whereas a coach, which I was also doing in that role, I am able then to support teachers in a different capacity. I'm able to go in and co-teach, plan with teachers, see them doing all these awesome things with technology, meeting in small groups or in teacher-based teams, and it can just be a lot of fun. So I'm really excited about this role. And if I can be any support to you throughout this, feel free to email me or send me a Google chat message, and I'm happy to connect and work with you. What else about me? So I am also a founder of Global GEG. Global GEG is a Google educator group, and it is a lot of fun. We offer a ton of free PD that you could also use for your CEUs. And it's so important. I learned, especially throughout COVID, how much importance is on APLN. So APLN is your personal learning network. And these people have been there to support me, listen to me when I'm like, this isn't working, or Google's down. Is it just down in Pickerington, or is it down all over? And these people have really been able to listen to me and say, Stephanie, it's down the entire world. It's okay. Or, hey, I wake up and my UK friends have noticed that Google's not working. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a great day, like just going into work. So I've really grown a community with those people, and it's made me a better educator. So I highly suggest that you find your Google Educator group or your community. It doesn't have to be Google related. Just find your community. Some of these communities are on Twitter, some of them are on Facebook, some of them like do Google Meets. And if you are interested, just let me know, because it's so important to have a community of educators that understand and can help you through when it does get tough. I'm also a leader, and I co-lead GEG Ohio with Eric Kurtz. So I kind of help lead that group as well. And again, it's all free resources. If you need to contact me, my email is right here. And again, all these links are in the YouTube description. So feel free to click and explore if you want to know more about me. I also, real quick, have a son. Right now, he's 18 months old. His birthday's in November. He's crazy, he's wild, he's stubborn, and he's very strong-willed. And I love him. So that is kind of where I spend my evenings and my weekends with, is AJ, and then also my husband, Kevin. So here's our whole little family together. And I do also have a blog, I podcast, I'm a Google innovator, and then my little family right here. And we are currently building a house. So if you do want to know a little bit about me, feel free to also click some of these links. Happy to share more too, or share AJ's adventures. Like, oh my gosh, he is now talking. He's saying he wants that and more. So that more. And it's just really funny to listen to him. And he's also saying mama and dada. So again, if you need AJ stories, feel free. I will tell you anything about him. He's really fun. Okay, so how can I support you? I'm just going to do a real quick recap, and then we're going to go into depth more about this. I'm also going to list the timestamps for each part of this video. If you need to pause or take a break, feel free to do so. But right here, if you're just like wondering, like, what does an instructional technology coach even do? And so I can help with professional development. This can be in a small group, large group, one-on-one, whatever you need. Maybe you're like, I have no idea how to use Edulastic. Call me in and we can sit down. We can create an assessment together. This is job-embedded professional development. So as you have things come up and you're like, oh my gosh, I really want to use that product, but I don't know how, or I don't feel comfortable, invite me in. More than happy to come in and help. Co-planning. I am in love with just planning lessons. Some people make fun of me because I make things adorable, which is probably not good, but I have a love for also like graphics and like adding gifts and different stuff like that. And also making it very high level material that is really good instruction for your classroom. So if you have a lesson and you're like, I hate teaching rocks, invite me in. Let's try to figure out how we can make that in an engaging lesson together, so we can co-plan that lesson. Also, if you're looking for resources, I have a couple teachers that say, hey, I'm looking for resources on reading comprehension. I love Twitter, so I will be searching Twitter as I find resources. I can send them off to you in a Google chat or through email. And if it becomes too overwhelming, just say, Stephanie, you need to stop. But let me know if you're looking for some type of resource, or if you find a resource that you think would be valuable for me or others. Please share it, because that collaboration piece can make us all stronger educators. Co-teaching. Again, my background is special education, and our classroom was set up as a co-teaching classroom. People would walk in. We had a lot of guests my final year in the classroom, and they had no idea who the spec ed teacher was and the reg ed teacher. And all of our students were our kids. It wasn't like, oh, those are Stephanie's kids. So finding those times where you might be like, hey, I want to co-teach this with you. I don't feel comfortable rolling out WeVideo to my students, and I would love to just have your assistance with this project. And so maybe your students are creating a book commercial about the books that they're reading. Invite me in. I would love to co-teach with you. I can help with those login issues, be an extra set of hands, and then even just co-teaching. And then also that reflection. If you want to just reflect, let me know. Sometimes I will reflect with teachers and we'll just go on a walk. So if you ever just want to go on a walk and just kind of talk out how things are going, happy to do that as well. Or we can sit in your classroom or wherever that reflection kind of needs to happen. Maybe you're just stuck. and you just need a brainstorming session. I love, love, love brainstorming sessions because I think they can be so powerful. And so, what these kind of look like is that yes and attitude, where we just kind of build off of each other. And so, maybe you're like, hey, I've got this idea. Um, but I don't know how to roll it out. I don't know. Like, there's all these barriers. Well, let's just do a brainstorming session and try to overcome some of those barriers together. Maybe instead of co-teaching, you want to watch me give the lesson. So kind of like I do the lesson first period, then later that week or that day, we do it together. So then we're co-teaching it. And then later you do it and I'm kind of there to assist. So maybe you're like, hey, I want to see like, what is this edgy protocol stuff and what is thin slides? I can come in and do it. We do it together and then you can do it. So it's very modeled. You're able to kind of see those different things. E&I can be a time where you might need just some lesson ideas for enrichment or for intervention. So if that's the case, again, let me come on in and I can help with those different projects or some of those intervention ideas that you might need. A couple other things just to remind you, I'm in 10 buildings. So if there is, for some reason, I arrive late or need to reschedule, please, 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 don't like just I'm sorry if I do run late or if I do need to reschedule. Things do come up in this position, and I just want to say it's not usual, but if for some reason I do need to reschedule or I'm arriving late, I will do my best to message you either through Google Chat or if I have your phone number or email you. And every time we schedule an event, it's on your Google Calendar. So if it's not on your Google Calendar, we're probably not meeting. And just let me know if we do need to meet. Also, please be open to meeting with me through Google Meet because I am in those 10 buildings. I would love to meet with you, but sometimes just because I can't drive everywhere, just because my schedule is sometimes back to back to back, please expect that some of those meetings might be through Google Meet. And I'm happy just to hop on a meet if I'm in a different building, but you need assistance really quick. I'm happy to do that as well. A huge thing, I do not fix technology issues. We have an amazing instructional, or not instructional, infrastructural technology team, so IT. They have the background to do that information. Most of the stuff is out of my league. I don't know how to fix the printer. I don't know how to fix blocked websites. I don't have power to do some of these things. So just kind of keep that in mind if your projector isn't working. And if you need reminded, I will probably just be like, hey, you need to put in a help desk ticket. So feel free to email me, but just know I cannot fix it because I don't have the parts. I don't have the ability. I don't have some of the knowledge. And so please just put in a help desk ticket. If you do not get answered, follow up with your building technician, email them or follow up with the ticket, go into the ticket and write a extra note about that problem. Same thing with like rostering issues. Put in a ticket, and so that way we can look into what's going on. So help desk ticket is needed for that kind of stuff. But if you want to do any of these other fun activities that is my background and my expertise, feel free to just email me. Happy to hop on a meet or come in person and co-plan, co-teach, demonstrate a lesson, or provide professional learning. So just a reminder, help desk ticket for tech issues. And if you don't get answered, follow up in the ticket or email your building tech. And then again, I just help with instructional technology. I can help you with blended learning. I can also help you with any programs or apps that you might need trained on. Maybe you need management help of how to manage all of these devices and help your students kind of organize and get decluttered from the digital mess. I love introducing technology like with people alongside you. And then I also just like to come in. So if you're doing a cool project, just invite me in. Maybe you found a really cool idea and you want to test it out, but you don't need my support. You just want to invite me in. Love just coming in. Or maybe you need a panel of feedback for your students. Happy to come in and provide that support if my schedule allows. How do you sign up to meet with me? You send me an email. So just send me an email and I'm happy to meet with you. We do have a lot of free programs. They're all built on this website. And if there's a website that you would like to use, just make sure it is on here because we have to make sure that we are following FERPA and COPA apply for our students to make sure that they're safe. These programs have been rejected, so make sure you are not rostering students to these programs. So for example, like ReadWorks, a lot of teachers like this. Just print the articles, add the articles to a Google Doc. Do not roster your students. Again, you can use the site, but do not roster your kids. Do not give the website your students' names, the website, anything like that. So it's always just good to check this website before you use a free site that might be available. Everything will be through ClassLink. So just get your students used to using ClassLink to log into all of the different programs. If you need more support with this, happy to come in and kind of go over, hey, this is in ClassLink or this is a Google sign-in. So if you do need help, just let me know. I love Twitter, so feel free to follow me on Twitter. I try to post things that are happening in the classroom, and it's really fun when teachers see like, oh, I did this activity with one teacher. Hey, can you come in or share that resource with me? I am happy to share, so just reach out and let me know what you need. This website right here has all of the approved programs, so you'll just go to your grade level, and then it has all of the programs for what you'll have purchased. Again, free ones need to be approved due to the COPA and FERPA, but these like Edpuzzle we do purchase. And you can just see right here, how do I get there through ClassLink? And you can just kind of see. Also, if a site's down, there's different links that could be on here that you're able to go to see the status of the page. So this website can be really helpful to know what programs do I use or what programs have I not tried yet. So feel free to look this over. And again, if you need help or you're like, hey, I don't know what this is, could I find value out of using that? Invite me in. I'm happy to go over some of those with you. And then coaching, we're going to talk a little bit more about coaching in this session that's going to be happening later. And then again, there's that about me if you want to learn more about me. All right. So that was a lot. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Happy to answer them at any time. Email and Google Chat. Google Chat's probably the fastest way to get a hold of me. Usually when I am working with teachers, I have my computer up and I usually just see the pop-up message or the notification. And so I try to respond as quickly as I can during the school day. I'm hoping I am a workaholic, but I am kind of cutting back this year. I probably will not answer as quickly as I have in the past to emails or Google Chats over the weekend or evenings. I need to work on my wellness, and that's kind of a goal for this school year. And so I just want to be completely transparent about that. So if you do need me, kind of reach out during the school day, and I might email at night, but I'm going to really try to cut back. It has consumed my life the last couple years, and that's just something that I personally need to work on. So thank you for understanding in advance. All right, so let's talk about what is the 5-step coaching cycle. All right, so a coaching cycle is a professional development. It's very job embedded where you get to work with me very closely. Usually it's about 6 weeks, and I just promise that I'm going to listen to your struggles. I won't judge you. Totally get that this can be an overwhelming profession, and I want to just support you so that you can grow to better help your students, your parents, or whoever you need to grow, maybe for yourself. I also want to celebrate your strengths and your victories. So when we do hit those milestones, let's celebrate. And then together we will be able to achieve our goals. So coaching cycle is kind of like also a goal cycle because it's a goal that you have. Sometimes it's aligned with the district goals, and sometimes it is just a educational goal that you want to get to, and you need to come over that barrier in order to get to that district goal. So happy to come in, work with you. Our coaching cycles are confidential. So I might just tell a principal, hey, I'm working with this teacher, but maybe not on what we're doing unless I have your permission. So you can trust me. I will not go out and just say, hey, this teacher's struggling with this. I don't believe in that because we all have areas of weakness and strengths, and we just need to grow. So happy to support in whatever way you can. And if you ever feel judged by me, just let me know. Happy to kind of work through that with you, but I promise not to judge you. And it is okay if you don't know. And maybe you're like, oh my gosh, we've had this program for 7 years and I haven't used it. I don't care. I'm not going to judge you because you haven't used a program. Reach out to me. Let's learn it. All I care about is seeing your growth. And I want you to be like honest with me, and I will do the best that I can to be honest with you. And just know that our coaching cycles are confidential. And unless you give me permission to share, I won't share with your principal or anybody else. I might just say like, hey, I'm working with a teacher on this, but I'm never going to say your name. All right, so here's a coaching cycle. Weeks 1 and 2, we're identifying the investigating the focus of what goal we want to accomplish. So first, we're going to pre-conference. We're going to meet together and we're going to plan together kind of what we want to accomplish during this time. We're going to look at different tools. We might plan a playlist together or a choice board, or maybe the goal is like classroom management. So we might design some type of protocol list and all that kind of stuff. So this is like where we're planning, we're researching. I might be searching on different websites for different ideas for you. You might be searching on different websites as well. And then we're coming together to kind of plan together. So those are like the first 2 weeks. After we have the plan, then we go into 3 and 4, and we're going to select and implement. So maybe this is demoing a lesson. Maybe this is me teaching the lesson to your students and you're watching, and then you're going to do it, and then, or we're going to do it together and then you're going to do it. Maybe this is co-teaching. We're both doing it at the exact same time. Maybe this is peer and coach, like we're just going on an observation, or maybe you want me to observe you or help give feedback about a different thing. Maybe we're looking over data together. And we're also kind of like developing that lesson together. Then weeks 5 and 6, we're kind of debriefing, we're reflecting. And again, this could be a walk. We could go on a walk and just say like, oh my gosh, this happened during this part of the lesson. This is how I feel about this part. And then what are our next steps? I am there to keep you accountable. And some days you might be like, oh my gosh, she's going to check in with me and I haven't done anything. And that's okay. But we're going to plan next steps so that you can continue your growth. And your next step might be another coaching cycle to work on another area. Or it might be, hey, I'm going to share this resource during my teacher-based team. And then I'm going to check in with you to make sure that you did that. And again, if you did not, don't feel like overwhelmed. I know we've got different personalities. Some people need me to be hard. Other people need me to like, it's okay. It's okay. And then also we'll go ahead and schedule whatever next steps we need to do. And so a 5-step coaching cycle can help transform your instruction. And the reason that I'm so passionate about coaching, and the reason I kind of applied for this position instead of the coordinator, is because I love working beside teachers. I love coming in the classroom, co-teaching, co-planning, demoing a lesson, and seeing that transformation happen in every single classroom for students. So that's kind of my why of why I love and believe in the coaching cycle model so much, because I've seen a lot of growth from it, and I've seen a lot of confidence in teachers rise because of that cycle in place. And so right here are just some guiding principles that I do kind of believe in. And this is all from the Google Certified Coach curriculum. And I've gone through it. I have my certification. It is a great program. If anyone is ever interested in becoming an instructional coach or content coach, this is really good. So I just kind of want to go over again, like why I do it. And again, I've seen technology be used in impactful ways through a coaching cycle. It's job embedded. So you're not like learning Eduelastic in August and then you have no reason to use it because you're building relationships. And so I can come in whenever you're ready to create that assessment, and it's more impactful because it's relevant to you at that time. So for example, if we're doing a coaching cycle with Eduelastic, we're going to go weeks 1 and 2, we're going to kind of plan, okay, what are the standards we're covering? What type of questions do we want? What DOK levels? Week 3 and 4, I might come in and co-teach with you, develop the test together, and then I would come in with you to maybe co-teach you giving that assessment to your students. And then after that, we might look at the data and do some walking through, like, what should we do with the students to have those data chats, have them reflecting on their learning. And then after that, week 5 and 6, we're going to reflect on how that went. And then maybe I'll say, okay, what's our next step? Maybe the next step is to do another Eduelastic assessment, and that you're going to do all by yourself because you feel confident. And if you don't, we can go through the coaching cycle again until you do. But most people usually feel pretty confident after going through one cycle. They're like, okay, I can build my own. Next time I can do this part, but can you come back for the data chats? I was kind of struggling with their data binders. And then we can kind of go through the coaching cycle again. So this is kind of an ongoing cycle. And sometimes people need a break. So maybe after one cycle, you're like, okay, I will see you in a month. So you need like a month break. Some people can just go from coaching cycle. I also do group coaching cycles. So maybe your whole TBT is working on Eduelastic. I can come into the TBT meeting. We can plan. We can co-create that assessment. I could be hopping around that day through your building to make sure everybody is good using that program. And then I can also help with those data chats. And then after that, we can debrief during the TBT meeting. How did it go? What is our next step? What standards do we want to create for the next Eduelastic? So feel free to invite me to your Teacher Beast teams. If you would like to do a group coaching cycle, more than happy to do so. I just need you guys to let me know. Having 10 buildings, I'm going to need somebody to say, hey, can you come? And then we will find the date. We will finalize it because I am probably going to be busy. So I will need your help in reminding me, like, hey, this is coming up. Let's get this scheduled. And then I will send a calendar invite and I'll invite everybody that is involved with that coaching cycle, or if it's just one-on-one, and then we can look through what we need to do. I also believe that teachers are the greatest assets to student achievement. I do not believe technology should be taught every single day. I think students need a blended approach where they have the technology and then they're off the technology, they're unplugged. But I really believe that teachers are the ones that are able to help students over that technology. And so, for example, like iReady is not it's gonna help the student, but the teacher conferencing with them, helping them get through, talking out those lessons, helping them reflect is what's going to move the needle. It's not that technology program. And I 100% believe that. Also, I believe that technology alone cannot drive innovation. I love thinking out of the box. I love being creative, but I do believe that teachers are our driving force. What you guys do is the most impactful thing that can happen. And so you guys are leading this change. It's not just the technology, it's aiding you, but you are the reason for the change and the innovation that your students have. All right, so what is impactful technology use? It's having students be collaborative. It's working on those kind of 5 C's activities. It's having them use communication skills, being creative and innovative, using different tools that are relevant to helping them be successful. It's having the students be critical thinkers and having that student agency. So there are a couple things that can help, but again, we need that teacher to make it really, really impactful. Okay, so now these are some goals that Pickerington has for, it's kind of, you can see some of them are short goals, some of them are long-term. But here, by the end of the school year, grade 7 math, ELA, grade 8 math, and geometry. I know these are more higher up goals for our district, but they start younger. we've got to do our part at every single grade. It's so important. And so I can help with some of these things through a coaching cycle. So for this goal 1, I can help you with high quality instructional practices. I can help with creating lesson intentions for your students. I can help with that success criteria and some of that John Hattie stuff. I can help you with giving feedback to students, which will help this goal. So there's little pieces in a coaching cycle that we can focus on to help reach this goal. So by the time the students are in 7th grade, those scores do go up. Same thing for the next one. So focusing students in the lowest 20%, and they'll meet their growth and gap closing goals. So again, it's implementing blended learning. How can we differentiate your classroom to make sure every student is successful? And then I can also help with using any tools or high instructional practices with this goal. And then our third goal as a district is PBIS. So I can help with building those relationships. I can help with social emotional learning. And so if you want to focus in here, we're able to focus your coaching cycle into one of these goals to help with our district goals as well, but also with your classroom. And so what can you expect this school year? You're going to expect a lot of coaching. Again, before when I was a coordinator / coach, I had a lot of paperwork stuff. I am focused on the classroom and just coaching this school year. So Angie's still here and she's able to help with the other part. And so what you're going to do is you're going to come to me with a goal. Hey, I've got this challenge, and we're going to change it into a goal. And once we achieve that goal, you're going to see success and transformation in your classroom and educational practices. Coaching is for everyone. It doesn't matter. Feel free to invite me in. I'm happy to work with you. Even if you feel like tech isn't my thing, I can still help. Even if you're like, technology is my thing, I don't need you, I can still help you. I love just brainstorming and creating lessons, and that collaboration can make it really big. It's relationship based. I want to get to know you, your family, your likes, your dislikes. So it is. So you might see me every so often just being like, hey, how's it going? And it might not have nothing to do with education. I just care about you as a whole. So I might just even send an email like, hey, how's it going? And you're like, oh no, she's checking on my technology performance. No, I'm not. I really just care about your well-being. It's customized and personalized. It's one-on-one. So I'm able to fit to your needs and whatever you need. It could be small group and whatever your teacher-based team needs. It's long-term. So I'm in here for the long run, and you will probably start a cycle, and then you'll see how much it did help or how much it did take off some of that workload, and then you'll want to do it again. So because of the impact of that coaching cycle, my schedule does fill up, but we will figure out how I can best support you in this new role. What it is not. I do not evaluate. I don't judge your lessons, and it is confidential. I will not share your name unless you give me the okay. I might, again, share like your lesson idea or like, hey, this teacher's working on something really cool, but I will ask for your permission before I just go off and tell your principal. And I'm not a tattletale. I'm not going to go to your principal and be like, oh my gosh, this person's doing this. You need to go watch that, unless it is affecting student safety. That is the one time that I do have to report. But other than that, I'm not being evaluated to your teaching practices. I am not tech support again. I will not fix your printer. I will not be able to fix your projector. I don't have those resources. I don't have some of those knowledges. And that's why we have an IT team that can help with that. And it's not just training. It's not a whole group training where you kind of sit and get. Coaching is intense. It's me coming in, planning the lesson, co-teaching the lesson. And then after we do that, the follow-up, what's going to happen next? It's ongoing, kind of keep going, where that training is just a one-time thing. And again, our relationship is private between you and your coach. Again, I will ask for your permission if I can ever share something with your principal, or maybe you're like, hey, can you just tell my principal what we're working on? I will, but I need your permission before I do so. And so again, here's that coaching cycle. We're identifying that challenge. We're coming up with different strategies to solve it. We're coming up with a personalized strategy that's going to work for you. And this strategy might not work for another teacher. Sometimes it might, but sometimes we got to adapt it. Then we're going to implement that strategy and we're going to reflect on that experience and outcome. And so here's kind of the layout on what this looks like. So we've got a one-on-one meeting, and it's a lot of that planning. Hey, I've got this question about classroom management. We're going to meet and talk about that issue. Okay, it's happening at this time. What can we do? And so we're going to develop maybe a list of different protocols like, hey, we're going to have a red light for stop, no devices, a yellow, and then a green to help with the device management. Or maybe it's working on Hapara to learn how to use a system to kind of see what your students are doing. After that, it's a classroom visit. I could be in there watching the students to see how much they are off task and looking for ways that I could help. It could be co-teaching where I'm coming in and you're kind of watching Hapara while I'm giving the lesson to learn how this works hand on hand, because Hapara is hard to learn when you don't have kids in the system. And then it might be modeling. I might be up there teaching it and you're kind of watching me go over that instruction with your students. And then there's that follow-up meeting where we're reflecting and then talking about, okay, what's next? What can we do next to better the instruction for our students? And so this is kind of what it can look like and what my schedule it's crazy, my schedule, but this is kind of the flow of it. So I've got cycle 1, and this usually is by 8 weeks coaching cycles. And then it's a prep week where I'm just kind of getting things organized, figuring things out. Cycle 2, cycle 3, cycle 4. And then it's the end of year prep. So that's kind of like the school year. And you can hop into a coaching cycle whenever you feel like, hey, I'm ready to try this. Or, hey, do you have any good ideas for this issue I'm having? Happy to come in and collaborate with you. But I just want you to kind of see how I kind of organize it. It does not always look pretty like this. Sometimes it's like a cycle is overlapping here, and then I've got someone right here. Like it can look crazy. So just know that this is kind of the flow, though. And then with this Gripe Jam, I would love to have you participate on this activity. So right here, we've got a Gripe Jam, and I'm going to go ahead and open that up. Let me get rid of some of these tabs. And so what a Gripe Jam is you get to just complain. What is going on in education? What is your biggest gripe that you might have? And then how can we fix it to make it a little bit better? So you're just going to get it all out. It's kind of a really nice venting session for you and what you're able to kind of see with your students. Let me go ahead and pull that link up for our Jamboard. And you can do this with Post-it notes, or you can do this with a Jamboard. So I'm going to put this link into the chat, and it should be available. Just go ahead and click that link over in the YouTube description. All right, and here is our Gripe Jam. So what you're going to do is you're going to use yellow. You're going to go ahead and put your name. So go ahead and type your name on this orange Post-it note. Once you do that, you're going to then use yellow sticky notes to write all of your gripes, okay? And then that is all the sticky notes you'll need for this one. All right. So for example, here are some of my gripes. I have way too many students and just not enough time. Catching up with students who have low attendance is a struggle because I've got all these other students in my class and I just don't know how to keep up with these students that are constantly absent. Grading student work is a super pain point. I hate taking it home on the weekends. It's been taking over too much time over the weekends. How can I maybe do some of this during the school day? Communicating regularly with parents is a really annoying task. They're constantly emailing me. They're constantly calling me, that kind of stuff. Classroom behavior. Students are just kind of all over the place with their social and emotional needs. Getting quiet students to participate more in class. So you're just going to write down all of your problems, okay? And again, you're just going to grab this yellow Post-it note right here. So if you've never used Jamboard, it's right here, the yellow sticky note, and I'm going to just do like parent communication, and then you're just going to save it onto your Gripe Jam. Okay. All right, one problem per sticky note, and don't kind of like audit your problems yet. Okay, we're going to do that at the end. Just right now, all you're doing is getting a yellow sticky note and adding all your gripes, all your pain points, all your complaints out there. And I'm going to bring up different scenarios that kind of help you think. And these are going to go quick. So here we go. And if you need to pause the video just to get some more gripes out, feel free. All right, so here's some struggling situations I want you to think about. You just got to school and you just opened your computer. What are some of those pain points or gripes that you might feel? For me on this one, it might be, oh my gosh, I have 20 emails that I haven't responded to, and I need to figure that out. Maybe it is, I just got a nasty email from a parent questioning something that I did. Another one, it's your planning time. All right, it's my planning time and the administrator just walked in, and I'm trying to get stuff done, or I have a coworker that will not stop talking, the printer won't work, that kind of stuff. You need to meet with a family. You are supporting your colleagues. What gripes come to mind when you're supporting your colleagues? I have a teacher that's not doing their part. I am having to work over the weekends because they're just not pulling the weight on their end. What are your gripes during a lesson? I've got students who are just shouting out the answers. It's lunchtime. Maybe I forgot my lunch, or I'm trying to respond to so many emails during lunch. The school day just ended and my desk is a hot mess. You just got home or closed your computer. This one would probably be AJ is wanting me to play cards with him, and I have to probably try to answer a lot of people. So that's why I am trying to set some boundaries for myself this school year. It's Sunday night. You're about to begin a staff meeting. Again, what gripes or pain points are happening right now as these different scenarios are coming up, and you're using those yellow Post-it notes to help get those thoughts out. It's the middle of the night and you just can't sleep. So now what I want you to do is we're going to take those Post-it notes, go ahead and finish that last thought, or feel free to pause me. And we're going to list those from more frustrating to less frustrating. So I went over some of the Post-it notes I had at the beginning. Communicating regularly with parents is really frustrating. So I'm going to add that first. To where getting quiet students to participate more in class, that's not a huge issue right now. It's less frustrating. Maybe catching up with students who have low attendance is really, really on my nerves. I've got too many students in a little time. And so just organize using your Post-it notes. So if I've got my Post-it notes here, you are just going to move them on this line to more frustrating to less frustrating. Okay, once you have those, I want you to think about how many people does this affect? More people is going to go up top. Less people or very few people is going to go to the bottom. So communicating with parents like goes here. Low attendance, it's probably like 5 kids or 2 kids, depending on your class size. Too many students, I'm not able to maybe do blended learning. Like I just feel overwhelmed by all of the students and all their needs. Grading all the students' work is going to go down fewer. The classroom management is going to maybe go up a little higher because it's affecting my whole class. And then getting quiet students is just going to kind of stay in the middle. It affects maybe half my class. Okay. So again, just organize them. It should be a most frustrating to least, and then up and down depending on how many people are affected. All right, now I want you to think about what problems are you most passionate about solving? And you're going to circle those problems, or you can use this little circle tool. And then you can drag a circle and you can make this transparent, and I might make this red. And now I want you to circle the different areas on your Gripe Jam that are driving you you're most passionate to solve. All right, I'm like not passionate about communicating regularly with parents, but I am really passionate about those students that are not here. How can I better serve them? I have too many students, too little time, and then maybe it's the behaviors. Once you do, you're now going to kind of focus here. So where would I probably want to start? I think I'm going to start with catching up students with low attendance. I feel like I can get that, and I can be really successful at this area. So now we're going to get excited, and we're going to turn those gripes into hypes. And this is where you can take a coaching cycle with me. So maybe you went through and you have that gripe, and now you're ready to go through that coaching cycle. And so the next step is up here. There's an exit ticket, and I'm going to throw this link into the YouTube chat. And I would just love for you to put your email address, your name, and then what building you work at, or buildings. And then right here, on a scale, how comfortable are you with using Google Workspace? So you're just going to go ahead and answer all these different questions. And then if there is somewhere that I can support you, like I really would like to learn about Google Sheets and how to use it to make my grading or like tracking attendance a little bit easier. I'm pretty comfortable with Edpuzzle. I'm really good at Pear Deck. I'm really good at video. And so feel free to use these different places if you want to say how I can help you with those different areas. Okay. Once you finish this section, any questions about programs that you might need help on, like Edulastic or Zern or Seesaw or Google Classroom, any of those, let me know here. And then after kind of watching this video, let me know, how can I support you this school year? Is it monthly meetings, weekly meetings, just random check-ins, coaching cycles that are one-on-one? Or would you rather try a group coaching cycle where it's with your TBT? And then maybe you're more like, no, I'll reach out to you when I need that help. So maybe you don't want me to like reach out to you, and you would rather do that when you do need the help. And maybe you have another idea. Feel free to add that idea. Let me know what is the best way to reach you. Email, random in-person check-ins. Is Google Chat a good way to check in with you? Or do you want me to like text you? Like you're like, I never respond back to email, text me. Just put your number right in the other. And then I do like to hang up tech while you tinkle. So if you are interested in helping me hang this up, I would love your support because being in multiple buildings, it's sometimes hard to hang up all of these fun tech while you tinkle PD opportunities. So if you would just hit yes, or if you're not interested, totally fine. I'm just looking for one person in each building to kind of help facilitate that. And then on this last page, if you could just go to your Gripe Jam, hit share, and copy this URL and make sure it is open to anybody in Pickerington, or you can add my name onto the list and paste your URL here, and then let me know your goal. So my goal right here was about parent communication. And then once you're all done, hit submit. I'm also probably going to add a question here, like, would you like to have a coaching cycle? A coaching cycle. And then that way I can kind of follow up with who would like more support. And I'll add the other button. So that way I can support you as best as I can. And once you're done, just hit submit. All right, well, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate you. I appreciate the work that you do for your students, your parents, your colleagues. And if I can help you with that coaching cycle, please let me know. And I just want to real quick recap what a coaching cycle is. So it is right here. Weeks 1 and 2, we're kind of planning together. Weeks 3 and 4, we might be teaching together. We might co-teach. We might demo a lesson. I might just be observing. And then weeks 5 and 6, we're kind of reflecting and deciding what next steps we need to take. Again, if I can help you with this, let me know. If it is a tech issue, help desk ticket. All right, guys, I cannot wait to meet you in the schools. And again, if I can be any help, email me or send me a Google chat message. All right, thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to connecting with you later.